All right, everyone, just a quick one. If you've been listening to the pod recently, you know that I've been balls deep in my boxing training and my body is starting to feel absolutely cooked. So to keep myself moving and not feel like I've been hit by a truck every day, I've started using anabolic supplements. They're just proper, no BS supplements, and Nutrition Warehouse has their Anabolics weekend coming up where you can save 30% on anabolics products, and if you spend over $50, you get a free can of Freaked Energy drink. You can get early online access from Thursday the 19th of February, or if you're more of an in-store or online guy, Friday the 20th to Sunday the 22nd, that's where you'll find your savings. If you're training, lifting, boxing, or just want to feel a little bit less broken like myself, now's the time to jump on board with anabolic supplements and Nutrition Warehouse. I appreciate you all. Let's get back to the pod.
The craziest thing when you're not using drugs and you go to the store, they treat you differently. Have a good day.
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast don't last, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well. My Lord, what a week it has been. It has been chaos after chaos. I've been a busy beaver. Let's say that. Could that be the episode title already? The Busy Beaver. Oh, God, that's so gay. Let's break down this opening clip and let's fucking rip right in.
The craziest thing when you're not using drugs and you go to the store, they treat you differently. Have a good day.
That's crazy when you stop doing drugs that customer service improves. It's wild. It's almost as if the last time that you went into their store, you were just stealing Red Bulls and just laying on their floor buzzing like a Nokia 3315. Oh, God. Shout out to all the crackheads out there listening. Just giving up those drugs and becoming paying customers, not a warning sign in most local stores. So shout out to you guys. But how are the rest of us? How are the rest of us non-crackheads? I'd like to categorize myself as one of those. Never touch crack. Never intend to touch crack. Just like to put that out there. Unless the podcast and comedy career really starts to plummet, you never know. Never say never, as Jaden Smith once said in the Karate Kid remake. In the Karate Kid remake with Justin Bieber. So, what the fuck is wrong with me this morning? Anyway, kids are home again today. Probably going to get interruptions. Who fucking knows? How's this? Straight off the back. This is how good of a parent I am, ladies and gentlemen. Usually, I've got my supersonic high-speed fan over there in the corner today. Copped a bit of shit about this week. As we all know, I've got a couple of podcasting mates in Matty Carvosso from the Mayraki podcast, Ty Avery from the Roads We've Walked podcast, and let's just class Jesse Parkin as a podcaster because he's in our fucking group chat and we talk to him every day because he's a fucking legend, all right? Shout out to Parkin Watchers. Go suss him out. He's doing some crazy custom shit out there at the moment. So, anyway, Matty puts in the group chat this week. He goes, hey, boys, thinking about getting a new fan for the studio. I've just done a bit of a revamp down here. Check it out. And Ty goes, oh, yeah, I just got a couple of $25 Bunnings fans. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I go, oh, I just got this sick fan at the end of last year. Fucking hammers like a beast. Like, it's almost like a mini aircon, you know what I mean? And Matty goes, oh, that's sick. Send me the link, blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, no worries. Send him the link. Now, you guys know me. I'm not rich. I've got no money. But this was the one thing where I was like, look, I'm going to start getting guests in again. I'm going to buy a decent fan to make them feel comfortable in the studio, okay? There is nothing worse than being in this studio. It is a sweatbox, okay? I could close that door and this would beat most gym saunas. Anyway, I fork out a little bit for this fan. I don't even know if I disclosed the amount of money I spent on this fan when I first bought it. Spent $150, all right? For a fan, I know it's ridiculous, but Nikita and I went around for about half a day. We went to JB Hi-Fi, The Good Guys, Harvey Norman, and we found this fan, right? And the main thing I wanted was quietness, okay? Because I'm a one-man band. I've said it 1,000 times. I do all the recording, I do all the editing, I do all the clips, I do the lot, right? And in my mind, back in the early days, like fucking the first 20 episodes or something, we used to have like Bunnings fans in here. And I remember Adrian had to edit a couple of videos for me just to take the humming of the fan out of the background. And I was just looking at my point of view of having to edit this shit. And I'm like, no way am I going to get a guest in here and I'm just going to have to go through all their voices and just like edit out a fan noise. So I forked out, I got the fan, sent it to the boys. My God, have I started copping some shit for this? Oh, it must be nice to be on a cabinet maker's wage. Holy fuck, $150 for a fan. That's fucking crazy. I wish I could afford a podcast producer. Oh, fucking jab thrown. No, I'm sorry, boys. Killing it. I wish I could afford a producer. Not going to lie. Not going to fucking lie. But anyway, that wasn't even on my run sheet this week. That was just a off-the-cuff idea, and I didn't even get to the point of where that story started because I'm a fucking top dad, right? The boys are in the bedroom. They're playing, I don't know, something on their iPad. Probably a game they're not meant to be playing. They're probably chatting to some 50-year-old in Germany right now. Oh, God, I hope not. But anyway, I've left the fan in there because they've got it pumping on them. They're happy. They're having fun. So I'm like, you know what? If I leave the fan with them, chances are I'm going to be able to punch this podcast out. So let's get on to some other dad-based topics. I know I've got a lot of dads that listen to this. And look, I know I came on here probably mid last year and I was like, oh, I got a bit of feedback. A couple of people don't like listening to it because it's all dad shit. When you become a dad, that's your life. You know what I mean? That's all I've got to fucking talk about. Kids, podcasting, comedy. That's it. So I appreciate all you guys that come back and listen to this shit every week. Before we do rip in though, I just remembered. Let's crack my delicious can of Celsius for the week. Ready? Let's listen to the crack. Oh, that was a nice one. Now, guys, I'm going to take a sip and we're going to rip into this flavour. Oh, now, let's get the flavour out of the way first. It is kiwi strawberry flavour. That's it. That's not like a clever name following that. Anyway, I'm not a strawberry fan, okay? The only strawberries that I consume are strawberries and cream, my favourite lollies of all time. And so I've always seen this flavour there, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to like it. And Mum came around the other day. She went to Woolworths and Celsius was on special or something, so she threw a couple in her trolley, bought them around for me. And there was 2 of these in there. And look, it's up there with mango lemonade, my favourite flavour. It is fucking delicious and refreshing. And even Nikita has never been an energy drink person. I've been making her have sips of Celsius and she's like, this is actually pretty fucking good. So shout out to Kiwi Strawberry Celsius. Let's take another sip. Oh, yeah, that's some good shit. But anyway, as I've spoken about the last few weeks, we've got a gang of youths hanging around our street, right? And I'm not going to lie, my 2 boys are part of that gang. Am I proud of it? Sometimes. Sometimes I'm not so proud of it when there's cars hammering down the street and they're like, nah, I can't get off the road because I'm about to hit this jump. So sick. I'm about to do a triple backflip. I think I'm R. Willie right now. You know what I mean? Anyway, they hang around our house. Our yard seems to be the yard of the neighbourhood. I don't know why. Like, it's not a great front yard. It's got a hill. It's just not great, all right? I don't know why ours is the pick. The only thing I can put it down to, and again, it's our own fault, Nikita and I are probably the most cruisy parents, potentially. I don't know. I don't really know the other parents too well. But I suppose we don't really police what they're doing to a degree. I mean, the other day, I went out there. They were doing full UFC in the front yard. I'm not even... When I say full UFC, I fucking mean it. Like, I thought fucking Mark Goddard was going to come out and start refereeing. Like, I walked out there. Parker had the neighbour's kid in a chokehold. This kid's face was going red. I'm like, Parker, let him fucking go. They're like, oh, he hasn't tapped. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. Oh, the kid's 5. Have you told him he has to tap, or is he just waiting to go unconscious? Is he like, this is life? This is my first lesson in life? Anyway, then like there's a couple of older kids there swinging punches and stuff. And I'm like, boys, do whatever you want in my front yard, but we are not doing this type of shit, okay? I'm not going to your parents and going, look, just got to tell you something. Billy just got a black eye because my 5-year-old just hit him in the face because he thinks he's fucking Sean O'Malley, okay? Anyway, so on the back of that, this gave me a flashback from when I was a kid, okay? If you're listening to this, cast your mind back to younger you, right? When you're a kid, when you'd go to your friends' houses and you'd get a little insight as to how other families live. You'd be like, you'd always in the back of your head, like your mate, you'd be at your mate's, you'd be playing PlayStation or something. His dad comes in, he's like, Barry, I told you to fucking take the rubbish out. Take the rubbish out or I'm fucking throwing the PlayStation in the bin. And you'd just awkwardly be sitting there with your controller like, oh my God, please don't yell at me as well. No one ever yelled at you because you're not their kid. But anyway, it was just awkward. Or you'd have the other flip of the coin where you'd go to your mate's house and then their dad would walk in and be like, oh, boys, why aren't you fucking ripping bongs right now? Here, I've got some in the fucking wardrobe. I'll go get you some. And you'd be like, oh my God, what is going on right now? Anyway, so this is where I'm trying to get to. You have this opinion on your friend's parents, okay? And I didn't really think about this. I never thought about this really until this happened the other day. And the neighbourhood kids have started to develop opinions about Nikita and I. And I'm not going to lie, it hurts my feelings. I don't feel great about it. Now, I think it was yesterday or the day before, the boys are out on the front yard. They're riding their bikes on the road. They're doing whatever they're doing out there, climbing the tree next to our house. And I'd asked Westy to do something like 100 times. And maybe I was a little frustrated that day. I don't know. But I walked out there and I'm like, Westy, I asked you to, I think it like he's a fiend for this. He'll have a shower and he'll just leave his towel on his bedroom floor. And I'm like, dude, fucking hang it up or put it in the laundry. And he just does it every fucking day. And I think the other day I was just at my tipping point with it. I just went out there. I'm like, Westy, come inside, hang your towel up or you're not going back outside for the rest of the day. And I just saw all these other neighbourhood kids just give me this look. And I was like, that's weird. Westy comes in, picks the towel up, takes it to the laundry. And I walk him back out the door. I shut the screen door. And as I've shut it and Westy's got back to his mates, they think like in a kid's head, 10 meters is like soundproof, okay? They think no one can hear what they're saying. So Westy gets to his friends and I just hear one of his friends say to him, they're like, Westy, is your dad always angry? And I was like, I wanted to burst out there and go, I'm not fucking angry, all right? But I know that probably wouldn't have been a good appearance to not only the kids, but if one of their parents walked past or something and they just saw me out there raging about how I'm not angry. So I just want to be like, look, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in my children's actions sometimes. There is a fucking limit. And then they rode off. I've walked back inside and I just started reflecting on this like so much. I'm like, is that how I'm coming across to all these neighborhood kids? Like, I want to be the cool dad. That's why I thought they were hanging out on my yard because I'm the cool dad, okay? I almost want to. This is my plan this week, right? I'm gonna go out on the front yard. I'm probably going to get my bike out of the shed, okay? I'm going to get my bike out. I'm going to go, boys, you guys want to see how to hit a jump? I'm going to get my bike out. I'm going to put my hat backwards like the good old days. I'll probably fucking put a lollipop in my mouth or something just so I can relate to them. And I'll just go out there and I'll just start trying to hang in with the kids, you know? It's probably going to come across creepy and shit, but I can't have that image of me just being the bad guy. So tune into next week's episode when I hit Westy's jump and I'm in a cast next week with a broken fucking elbow or some shit. So I'll probably start a GoFundMe as well just to pay for my medical bills because I'm not rich like these other podcasters out there that can just afford producers. Oh, God, just another fucking drive-by. And then another thing, I've put my fucking light in the worst spot this week. I can't even read my run sheet, so bear with me. Another thing, speaking about childhood, so while we're in this reflection period, let's touch on this note as well, okay? I was born in the 90s, all my 90s kids, and I would say anyone prior to the 90s. I reckon when you got to the 2000s, this probably isn't going to ring a bell for you. It could. Shoot me a message if you can relate to this. But I remember when I was a kid, right? If you were walking near an area that had heaps of trees and shit, and you'd look down on the floor, the holy grail was finding a stick that was in the shape of a Y. Now, as I said that, all of your brains just blew, and you're like, Yes, homemade slingshot. Of course. Where are all my fucking homies at that were making homemade slingshots back in the day? So I was out the front with the boys the other day and I forget what I was doing. I think I was just tidying up the front yard. I was over near the trees and I saw it. It was like glistening in the sun. I was like, there it is, the trophy, the best Y-shaped stick I've seen in years. I pick it up. I go, boys, come check this out. They walk over to me and I'm like, look, a Y-shaped stick. They're both staring blankly at me. I'm like, you know what we could do with this? And they're like, no. What could we do, old man? You're going to fucking get a wheel out on the road and start tapping it with your stick, you old fuck? And I go, boys, we can make a homemade slingshot with this. And they've gone, why? And I've gone, you know, it's in the shape of a Y. We put like a rubber band around it, put like a bit of paper or something that we can put rocks in and then we shoot it. And they're like, why wouldn't we just go buy like a good slingshot? And I was like, oh, these kids these days, they're too fucking spoiled. They don't know how good they've got it. I mean, back in the day, I would have been frothing over that. I would have had my slingshot. I'd have been out in the backyard pretending to hunt wild boars and shit like I was living in a village. But like we all know, if you made a homemade slingshot, you would pull that thing back. The rock would just drop like 1 meter in front of you. We were never killing anything. The only thing that we were killing was my hopes and dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but anyway, let's get on to another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip. Which one have we got next? This one. This is a good one, guys. Let's see what this bloke's got to say.
If I make this shot into the cup, then I'm a good boy. Sometimes I could be a bad boy.
Oh my God. Nothing makes your skin crawl faster than a dude flirting with himself on fucking Instagram. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I can be a good boy, but sometimes I can be a bad boy, ladies and gentlemen. I feel him. I fucking feel him. Anyway, let's get on to a couple more humbling experiences this week. Had a gig up at Newmarket Hotel this week. We'll talk about it in my week in comedy. But nothing humbles you quicker than this moment. And sometimes it can be a little bit embarrassing. I'm sort of over that. I'm over that hill now where I've embraced it. It is who I am. I don't give a fuck anymore. But every now and then you get a moment like what happened on Monday night and you're just like, Jesus Christ, I'm such a bitch. Now, we all know I'm not a heavy drinker these days anymore. I don't want to say, like, I'm on record. I'm not sober or anything. If I go to an event or if I'm at a gig where there's like maybe 2 or 3 of my mates there having a beer, maybe I'll go buy a beer, you know, just to fucking a bit of social lubrication. And I went to Newmarket on Monday night, walk up to the bar. The bar is relatively busy, okay? There's a few people. I had to wait in line. Finally get my turn. I say to the lovely bartender, I go, hey, mate, can I just get a glass of water, thanks? And he goes, yeah, no worries. I go, yeah, nice easy one for you. And he goes, yeah, ha. And he goes, do you want ice with that? I go, mate, that'd be fucking great if you could. Gives me my water. And I've gone to reach to grab my water in front of all these manly blokes that have just ordered their beers. They're hanging around the bar. They're waiting for the comedy to start. And as I've reached out to grab my glass of water, this bartender just looks me in the eye and he reaches beside my glass, picks up a straw and just pops it in my water for me as if to say, here you go, you little bitch. Why don't you go drink your water out of a straw, you little fuck, you little cuck-ass bitch. Don't strain your wrists when you lift this water, champ. I hope the straw doesn't add that extra weight, you limp-wristed fuck. That's how I felt he was talking to me. I mean, in reality, he was probably just doing his job. His boss probably spoke to him earlier that day and he's like, hey, you need to start giving straws out to people that order water and women. I fell in that category. I'll let you guys decide which part of that category I choose. I fall in. But in my head, I just picked my water up and as he dropped the straw in it, I felt like he might as well have just kissed me on the forehead and said, drive safe, drive safe, champ. You know what I mean? That's how fucking demoralizing it felt. But speaking about driving, let's take a sip first and then we'll get into my local dumb bitch of the week. So I don't know how this is. Look, most husbands or boyfriends listening, you probably can relate to this. I don't know how this became my job. But for the last 17 years since I've been with Nikita, it has been my job to fill her car with fuel, right? I don't know what it is. We both have our jobs, I suppose, if we want to dissect it. But the last week, during the night, she goes, oh, my car's on empty. And I go, okay. She goes, so I might be late for work tomorrow because I got to get fuel and stuff. I got to drop the boys off, then I got to get fuel, so I might be a little bit late. And I've gone, okay. She goes, yeah. I wouldn't mind. And this is where she knew she fucking got me. She goes, wouldn't mind a chocolate. And I've gone, you want me to go fill your car up? And she goes, yeah, that'd be lovely. I don't know how you jumped to that conclusion. So I go, all right, I'll go fill your car up. Drive to the servo. I swing into my fucking Bowser. I get out. I start filling up. Now, the Bowser beside me has about 5 to 6 big orange traffic cones just laid around it, as if to say to the average person, hey, this Bowser's out of order. Potentially it's run out of fuel. Potentially the nozzle's broken. Who knows? But everyone knows, don't fucking use it, right? I'm filling up. About 20 seconds into me filling up, this lady just swings into the servo at full speed, straight into the Bowser with the 6 traffic cones. And I've gone, what the fuck? And it just made the most atrocious sound as she's just driven over all these. These are now all wedged underneath her car, in her wheel arches and shit. I'm looking at her like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like, is this a current affair? And I just need to grab a microphone and be like, tonight on a current affair, we get Australia's dumbest driver. And then I have to go and interview her. She parks. She gets out of her car as if nothing's happened. And the whole service station is staring at her. And I'm like, I didn't want to be the one to fucking walk over there and be like, hey, I think that's out of order. See all the traffic cones which are under your car now? But I just left it. I wanted to see what happened. She gets out. Now, in the car park, there was a tow truck driver probably getting ready for his shift, you know what I mean? He might have been on smoko, but he was smashing a pie and a Coke on the back of his tow truck. And this guy took it upon himself, I suppose, because he's a tow truck driver, he's like, oh, I guess I better go fucking police this shit. So he walks over to her and he goes, oh, you just ran over all these cones. And she goes, what cones? And I've gone, what the fuck? In my head, I'm like, I think you've just smoked 6 cones and then you've come to fill your car up. Anyway, the tow truck driver starts to point out the cones underneath her car. And she's looking at him all confused as if to say, how did they get there? And he goes, oh, just reverse. I'll pull them all out for you. She's reversing. These things are like fucking flicking around her wheels and shit. And then this guy removes all the cones and she drives back forward where the cones were as if to say, oh, no cones now. I can fill my car up. And I'm just looking at this tow truck driver. He's looking at me as if to say, she's a lost cause. Then the chick at the servo had to get on the PA and be like, pump 6 is out of order. And then this lady got all shitty and she had to fucking drive to the next available one. I was like, Jesus Christ. But that's my award this week to Logan's dumbest driver. Last thing I've got to touch on this week before we rip into my week in comedy. My Lord, I was going to say this yesterday on the episode that dropped today. Let's not try to get emotional about all this, all right? Let's be calm, collected. Let's keep it together on the podcast. We'll cry happy tears into our pillow at nighttime. But a bucket list item for me is coming to fruition, okay? This is potentially, look, I know I've done a lot of big things over the last couple of years in terms of ticking shit off that I've started to want to do in life, right? Now, this could be potentially the highlight of the last few years. We all know that I am fucking obsessed with the UFC beyond belief, okay? Every card I watch from early prelims to the main event, unless it's an ultra shit fight night where I'm just like, nah, this isn't worth giving up my Sunday, you know what I mean? And ladies and gentlemen, I got an early birthday present from my parents and they have paid for me to go to UFC 325 in Sydney next weekend. Oh my fucking God, am I so keen. I am going to be, you guys know, you already know, I'm going to be the first one in the arena and I'm going to be the last one to leave. Like the cleaners are going to have to kick me out. And I'll be like, oh, why don't I fucking help? Why don't I come and I'll scrub the canvas, you know? I'll get a rag out. I'll scrub fucking Lopez's blood off the canvas. Then I'll come and hang that thing up in the studio. But my God, I'm fucking keen. Don't know what else to say on that. I'm going to have a huge fucking UFC 325 breakdown next week leading up to the event. And then the following Tuesday, obviously I'll do a fucking full recap of the whole experience. But I don't know. I genuinely, like, just thinking about the moment and shit, I think I'm just going to be sitting in my seat crying the whole time. Like, whatever poor bloke is sitting beside me is just going to be like, what is wrong with this guy? And I'm just going to be like, bro, you don't understand. This is like my pinnacle. I've always wanted to see a live UFC event. I cannot think of a better live event to go to. Like, maybe, like, obviously the pinnacle would be a Conor fight. I don't know if we're ever going to see it. If we do, I hope that we get to see him make that walk one last time, because you just get goosebumps hearing his music play. Now, if I had to pick a second UFC fighter to watch their walkout live, Volkanovski, my favorite Aussie fighter of all time. I guarantee. And don't get me wrong, I know how bitch this sounds saying this out loud, but I guarantee as soon as that fucking first note of Men at Work plays, I'm going to be bawling like a little bitch. Just fucking go, come on, Volk, you can do it. Let's retain that title. So yeah, crazy shit. Absolutely fucking, yeah, it still can't believe it, trying to fucking sink in. But anyway, let's, before we rip into my week in comedy, let's play another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip. What's this bloke on about?
Maybe I'm a lion. I'm playing around. Definitely got some cat in me, though. I can talk to him.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say other than what the fuck, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I am a lion. Who fucking knows? But let's rip into my week in comedy. Again, this fucking light this week. Why would I put it there? Who fucking knows? Take another sip. So I touched on Newmarket before with the whole water debacle. Monday night, head up to the Newmarket Hotel for sit-downs open mic night. And the crowd they were warm but cautious. That's a good way to fucking put it, I reckon. They were listening, they were engaged, they were letting out a couple of little giggles here and there, but no one hit a big pop yet. There was no big pop of the night. And I think I was like 5th on the night, I think. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. It's 4 sit down. It's a tight 5 minutes. Why don't I run my set that I'm thinking about doing for the Raw competition in a couple of weeks? So I was like, all right, let's see how it goes. So I got up there and did my Raw 5, and it worked so well. And I'm just hoping, since it worked there, it's going to work in the competition. But we will fucking see. But yeah, had a pretty good set, if I had to fucking say so. You guys know that I hate saying that I have a good set, but I was pretty happy with it. Then on Wednesday night, never done this room before. It's been around for over a year now, but it's just been one of those rooms where, like, I've never reached out to the room runner and been like, hey, can I come do the gig kind of thing? I was just like, oh, I'll do it when I get around to it. Anyway, he messaged me last week and he's like, hey man, I was just going through my list. I realized you've never done fucking Eddie's Grub House. And I was like, yeah, I'm keen as, just let me know. And he's like, yeah, well, why don't you come down next Wednesday? I was like, sweet, let's fucking do it. So didn't realize how far down the coast it was. It was down at, where was it? Like Tweed Heads, I think. Tweed Heads is crazy as well. I haven't been there in ages. And at nighttime, it's like a mini Vegas. There's just fucking lights and everything everywhere. It's kind of weird. But anyway, just this big lit up area right on the beach. Kind of sick, actually. I don't know how I feel about Tweed Heads. How do you guys feel about Tweed Heads? Anyway, I get there and the place is jam-packed, right? Full of what you would expect to see down there. Cool young surfer dudes and chicks, and they're all just there for their dinner and stuff. And the green room is fucking sick. One of the best green rooms I've seen. But the room itself, I don't know. It was a tricky room because you've got like pillars and shit everywhere blocking off parts of the crowd. So you can only really perform to the people around you and then just hope that the people behind these poles and shit are having fun as well. And yeah, I just got up there. I was first as well. So I was like, okay, let's hope that this goes well. And the laughs were hard earned. Let's say that. Now, when I say that, I don't want to say that I bombed, but I feel like I really had to work hard at getting the laughs. Like, I'll do my material it'd get a decent chuckle and I'd be like, oh, that wasn't enough for me, I was just trying to get that big laugh. So then I'd have to, on the fly, just come up with like back end bits of my bits and just working to shit on the crowd, which they like that a lot more. So yeah, it was a pretty sick gig. I'm keen to do it again soon, hopefully. So if you're around that area, come check it out. Then the following night, another new gig that I hadn't done before. This one was run by a different room runner for a little while, and now another room runner's overtaken it the last few months and seems to be fucking hammering. So went down there. I've never been to Miami Marketta before. That's where it is. And cool little venue. It was like a mini Eat Street Markets if you're in the Brisbane area. And got there, finally found the room that it was in this little rabbit warren. And cool room, just a nice, tight, long room and just set up perfectly for comedy. Theatre seating, just so sick. And got there and straight away, so there was like 100 people there, right? So that's good. Like if you're listening to this and you don't do comedy, usually we're doing it to like 20 people in the corner of a pub. So when you get to like a proper setup room, 100 people in there just ready to have a sick time, you're in for a good night. So I was on second last. So I was sitting there at the back of the room. I was watching all the acts. Every act is fucking crushing. And I was quietly sitting there confidently, right? I was like, okay, this is going to be sick. I'm on second last. The crowd's going to be all lubed up. They're going to be ready to laugh at some dirtier stuff. This is going to be fun. I set my camera up, put my little mic on my shirt, starting to pump myself up. I'm like, all right, get ready. This is going to be the biggest crush of all time. And I don't know what it was. They called my name up there. As soon as I got on stage, I have not had this feeling in so long. I genuinely cannot remember the last time I had this feeling, but it felt like I was just back to the early open mic nights, just almost forgetting my material to an extent. My hand was trembling on the mic a little bit. I honestly don't know why I was so nervous or anything. Like literally last week I did Home of the Arts where I said I crushed and there was maybe 100 people there and I just felt so confident in that moment. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I'd never been on this stage before, so it was all new. Who fucking knows? I don't know what to put it down to, but and I think that came across in my first couple of jokes. I was like, I got laughs, but they weren't the crush that I needed. Like my first two jokes that I'm opening on at the moment, I just put them there because they're getting big laughs. And I was like, okay, it's an easy way to win the crowd over. And they didn't land as good as I wanted to. And I just sort of got to my third joke and I more or less, I don't know if this was like if the crowd and shit like that could feel this, but I just took a moment. I just took like maybe, and it wasn't huge, it was maybe like 2 or 3 seconds where I just stood on stage and just sort of looked out at the crowd and I just sort of took a big breath and I was like, all right, just take a moment, comfort yourself, and then try again. Got into my third joke and the shakes and shit just went and I got a big laugh on that one and I was like, okay, sweet, let's fucking go. And the other thing right before this as well is the room runner, I don't want to say that he likes me or whatever, but we've got a pretty good relationship. And he come up to me. He did this on his last gig as well. He goes, hey, I'm cool if you want to stretch to like 15 minutes or something. And I was like, yeah, sweet, let's fucking do it. After watching everyone else crush, I was like, yes. But after those first two flopped, I was like, he's probably sitting at the back of the room going, what the fuck have I done right now? But from about that third joke, started to win him back over and ended up finishing pretty strong. So I think I actually got a couple of clips out of that, which I'll probably post this week. I don't know if you guys have noticed that as well. I'm trying to get some more stand-up clips out there. I know I don't post as many as I should doing stand-up, but it's something I'm trying to work on. But anyway, last gig of the week was last night at Big Fork Theatre. I love this venue, right? One of the coolest venues in Brisbane to perform in. Purpose-built room for improv, stand-up, theatre, all that type of stuff. And got there and there was probably 10 people there, which is quiet for this room, okay? They took a break the end of last year just to, I think they felt the comedy was starting to run pretty stale there. I don't know if they were struggling to sell tickets. I don't fucking know. But anyway, this was the first comedy night back at Big Fork. And yeah, about 10 people there, which it is what it is. Like it's the type of room where if you get a good 10 people in there, it can still be a sick night. And I was just in the green room and we're all just listening to comedian after comedian die, just a slow and painful death. I don't know if this audience was on mute or something, but no one could fucking crack them. And so I'm like, fuck. And I was on last. So I'm like, I'm the last one that's going to have to sit here and cop the bullet. It was the type of night where the comedian would get off stage and just grab their bag and be like, all right, see you later. So I got up there and I'm trying to win them. I'm trying everything. I end up dropping my gear. I'm like, what do you guys want to talk about? I'm like, let's play a game. I'm like, you guys throw a topic out there. I'll make a joke up on the spot. I'm trying everything. I'm grasping at straws right now. Even when I'm asking them for something, they're not talking to me. They're not making a peep. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, what do I do? So after getting absolutely zilch from the crowd, not even a peep, right? Maybe a couple of sympathy giggles here and there. I asked this one dude who is staring a fucking hole in the center of my chest my entire set, arms crossed, straight face. I go, hey, mate, what's your name? You seem to be hating my set. I go, what's your name? And he goes, Attila. The room fucking erupts. Like the biggest laugh of the entire night. And I've gone, that's crazy. I go, just quickly before we move on. I go, why are all you guys laughing at his name? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, that is blowing my mind that I've spent hours upon hours trying to get these jokes good. They're bombing hard. And this guy just says his name and you guys find that fucking hilarious. So I was like, what is comedy? I am trying to understand the formula that is stand-up comedy. But I'm probably going to clip that up as well just because it was an awkward moment of just silence into laughter because of fucking nothing. But anyway, let's break out of my week in comedy with my last, turns out it can get worse clip. Oh my God, what just happened? I just fucking fucked up everything, guys. 1 second. I just dragged the video onto my run sheet and it just made everything evaporate. So, bear with me. Dragging this across now. Here we go. It's going to be worth it, guys. Bear with me. Let's see what this bloke's got to say.
You ever been eating out your grandmother and tasted horse semen and remembered that that's how she died? If so, then you know what it feels like to drive a Ford F-150.
Roasted. That was crazy. Oh my God. What the fuck? Look, started off with a decent joke. Then he just had to ruin it by the sneaky little forward jab. But anyway, a couple of things I've consumed this week that I can recommend for you guys. Look, first one, I'll just say his name, Stephen Wilson Jr. He is a country artist in the States at the moment on his blow up. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about the bloke. And I saw him pop up on Theo Von's podcast the other week. And part of me was I was just being a hater for no fucking reason. I was like, who is this guy? Fuck this guy. Anyway, I was cruising home from a gig the other night and I was looking for something to listen to. Noticed that was still in my unplayed podcast. So I'm like, all right, let's throw it on and see what this bloke's about. Instantly fucking fell in love with this dude. My God, his voice, the way that he plays guitar, I don't know what it is, but it's just like heroin into my veins. Go check this guy out. I can only imagine that he is going to be huge in a couple of years. He played a couple of acoustic covers on Theo's podcast, and that's where he fucking got me. And I was like, what is this right now? It is crazy. So check it out. His voice, I genuinely don't know how to explain it. It sounds like he's been through 3 divorces and a bar fight, and then he just picks up his guitar and just starts strumming it. So if you don't want to commit to him completely, go check out his Stand By Me cover and Gary. Both those songs, absolute fucking bangers. Both on my regular rotation. Now, similar vibe. It's cruising home from Eddie's Grub House. So I had a long drive home and I'd caught up on everything. I caught up on all my podcasts. I'd listened to all my usual songs too many times that week. So I was like, I need something new. Went to my full, you know how you have your liked songs on Spotify? So I went to that and I just hit shuffle. And about 3 songs in, this popped up. And it made me think, how are these guys not being studied in school? The Lonely Island. Do you guys fucking remember them? They were huge, when I was fucking growing up. And just 3 blokes, 3 comedians. They're on Saturday Night Live and they just had a stab at making some music. And my God, every song is a fucking funny banger. And it's like, not only is it all hilarious, but it's good songs as well. And then I just put all their albums on, and I was just listening on the way back, and it blew my mind as to how they're not still being like spoken about as some of the funniest musical comedians of all time, you know? The way that they convinced superstars to come on their songs, like they have a song speaking about fucking being gay and shit, and Pink features on it. That is wild. They have Justin Timberlake singing about his dick in a box. What the fuck? No celebrities can do that anymore. We cannot get a top tier celebrity to come and sing on a comedy song about shit like that. That is just not happening anymore. And this isn't even that long ago. This was like 2013, 2014, if I had to throw a dart. Absolutely wild stuff. But if we tried to get a celebrity on a song like that these days, it would be a fucking PR nightmare. Their PR person would just faint at the thought of this. But go check it out if you're looking for a little giggle this week. Lonely Island, suss their shit. Last thing I'll touch on this week, we spoke about him with Stephen Wilson Jr., but Theo Von, you guys know I'm obsessed with the bloke. Probably my favourite podcast. No, my favourite podcast is Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Underneath that is probably Theo Von, okay? Now, this week, he had a comedian on there. Her name's Fiona Corley. She is a Kill Tony regular. She's in a wheelchair. She's got a condition where they break it down on the podcast, which is, it's good to hear someone like Theo Von where he's not quite, don't get me wrong, Theo is a smart fuck, right? But he's just good at more or less like dumbing down questions for people like me, okay? And just the questions that he was asking her and stuff, it just made us really understand who she is. Like, usually you only see her on Kill Tony for a minute or so, and that's it. And yeah, it was just such a good little chat between the two. And it was just vintage Theo Von, just him bouncing off another comedian, going back and forth, because a lot of the comedians that he has on these days, they've all made it now. They're all at the top of their game. They're selling out arenas. It is what it is. And it was good just to see vintage Theo with an up-and-coming comedian. They're bouncing off each other. They're saying shit that they probably shouldn't be saying. And it was just funny as fuck. I genuinely enjoyed it. My favorite Theo episode in a very long time. And even at the end, like I was thinking this as I was listening to it. And at the end, Theo says to her, he's like, I just want to say thank you because this is probably the funnest episode I've had in the last 2 years or so, which it was sick. It was sick to hear Theo say that. And you could just tell that he was so calm and relaxed through the whole thing. So, yeah, go check it out. But that's brought us to the end of the episode this week, guys. We have fallen slightly short, but it is what it is. It's been a crazy week just trying to, like I had 4 gigs, punched out 4 podcasts this week. So, yeah, I think you'll well and truly have enough of my voice by the end of this week. We had the UFC breakdown drop Monday. This drops Tuesday. Then we got our guest episode Thursday, which I love that episode, okay? Check that one out on Thursday. I have Andrew Taylor on, who is the founder of Livco, which they're trying to be, I say trying to be, but I reckon they're probably like, they're knocking at the door, right? They're trying to be Australia's biggest A-frame hat company. So you've seen me wear some of their hats on the podcast before, and he was one of the people when I first started the podcast. He was on the list of like, I don't want to say dream guests, but like a guest that I was trying to hammer. And we have been going back and forth since 2023 of trying to get him on the podcast. Finally happened last week. And yeah, that'll be dropping Thursday for you guys. He's got collabs with people like Troy Candy. And he told me a couple of collabs after the podcast. Fucking huge. Like, I reckon easily within the next 12 months or so, he's going to have that title of Australia's biggest A-frame hat company. So shout out to him. Absolute, genuinely good bloke. He sat down with me for probably half an hour after we finished recording just to, I don't want to say pick my mind, but he more or less just sort of sat there and he's like, look, what are you trying to achieve? How are you going about it? And then just gave me a heap of fucking tips and stuff. And he's like, bro, if you ever want advice or you ever need help with anything, if you're about to like launch something, hit me up. I will fucking help you out. So genuinely good bloke. I cannot say enough good things about him. So please check that episode out on Thursday. You guys will fall in love with him as well. Other than that, guys, gigs this week. I am at the Jungle Bar at West End, Wednesday 21st. Matic Brewing, Friday 23rd. Sunny's at Margate for West Park Productions on Saturday the 24th. Star Casino down the Gold Coast on Sunday the 25th. If you can't make it to any of those gigs and you want to get in touch with the show, send submissions via DM on Instagram at Can't Get Any Worse Podcast, or shoot me an email at can'tgetanywOrsePod@gmail.com. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep getting those ratings coming across. We are so close to getting back to that 5-star rating on Spotify, which I'm over the moon with. It was fucking pretty shitty being down in the 3 stars for so long. But anyway, we're on the up and coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having a fun time doing the pod again. I'm having a fun time doing stand-up. I'm finally feeling like I found my groove again. And it all comes down to you guys, really. If you guys weren't listening to this shit, then I'd probably just be curled up in a ball going fucking poor me. So at the end of the day, guys, I genuinely appreciate you guys coming back every week. Other than that, guys, hope you all have a ripper week, and I will see you later.
Can't